Hello and welcome to a third installment of Three Minds, One Vision. I'm your host, Saliota.
I'm your host, Gary Lombardi, and we have with us again today Dr. Doris Vidal Dorsch. And today we are going to talk about purpose.
So
Doris, why don't
we'll
you
let Doris
introduce
take it.
yourself?
Hi, I am Doris Vidal Dorsch. I am a doctor in integrative biology and I also specialize on emotional intelligence. And I am thrilled to be with you today. So let's get started.
So when we talked about self-esteem, we talked about vision. Um, tell our audience really why purpose kind of brings it all together. You know, like you have your self-esteem, which is within. You know, your vision is something that you're looking. That's not within us. It's in us somewhere. We can see it, but it's not physically here yet. So my idea of purpose, before I hand it over, this is my interpretation. You know, you have your self esteem, which is the way you feel about yourself. Your vision is where you want to end up, and I feel like we live our life in a purpose to get to that vision. You know, to get to that end. Um, so yeah, take it from there. I want to know what your thoughts are on it.
Doris, go ahead. Tell us your thinking on
I think
purpose.
you got it right. Our purpose is actually what we need to do to achieve that vision and to fulfill who we want to become in life. There are different levels of purpose. There are our objectives, which are small things that we would like to accomplish. And then there are goals, which are kind of like milestones, like keystones that tell us that we are heading in the right direction. And then there is purpose, which is a bigger umbrella that is actually what we would like to do. So, for example, one of my purposes in life, and you can have many, it doesn't have to be one, it doesn't have a specific number, but one of my purposes in life that I set up for myself is to help others because I do have passion to help people become happier in life. So going from the very big to the smaller one, right? So what did I do to fulfill my purpose, right? I got educated in emotional intelligence because it's something that I think it helps us, you know, uh, improve the way we interact with our emotions, with our feelings, with our behaviors. And then narrowing down and going to more specific, my objective then was to become educated, and I actually went to school and got the information that I needed in order to fulfill my purpose in life. So, one of the things that we need to do when we first decide to what is my purpose, what do I want to do, right, how do I want to do, is to start breaking it down into smaller achievable steps for us to fulfill that purpose.
I agree. I agree 100%. Gary, what's your vision on it?
So, it's a subject in itself. There's a lot to it, so I'm warming myself up to answer that question. And I feel purpose because I think that's a tough. People, they're asked that question. They hear that question being asked. What's your purpose? And a lot of people say, "What's my purpose?" And I think I don't know that they have a quick answer unless they've pondered that and thought about it for a period of time and read on it and research. It's like, what is my purpose? What does that really mean? So I feel I've come up with, so what is and I think we have a different purpose at different stages in our life. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So at this point in life, my purpose is to give back. That I have been graced with a lot of goodness in my life. I've had a lot of experience with things. I've had a successful life, a healthy life. I was blessed in many different ways. Um, and I'm grateful for that. And, we reach a point that it's important that we want to pay forward to someone else that is struggling. Okay, because I think we've all had advice, mentors, help along the way. So it's something that I feel that I can best do at this point in my life. That I've just had the trials and accomplishments and failures, and I've become attuned to listening well and hearing what's going on. And so my purpose right now is to give back and to um, continue to be grateful for who I am and what I have by continuing to grow, to achieve something, to take on a new challenge, to create something new, more. These are my purposes, and I feel that until the end of life, we for me anyway, I hope and I ask for that grace and power to always be able to create a vision, no matter where I am in life, for the next step, and to create something new and beyond where I am now, and to also whoever I can help along the way. That's part of my purpose. So that's my view of purpose at this point in my life.
And to go back on what you said before, where you said, your purpose changes. It's not like you have this idea and you have this way of life, this way of thinking. I could tell you firsthand. I have my daughter's almost 7 months, and if I tell you, my mentality has changed. I want to say 5 or 6 times in the last, I want to say, course of the last year. It's just been insane. From where I was all about, I was a very, oh man, I hate to say this on air because I'm being bluntly honest, but I was a very selfish person.
Yeah.
Very. And it's very hard for me to come out and say that because it took me a long time to realize it. And I was a very selfish human being. I cared about what I did and what I did only. To the point where even my parents would see it. Like, Sal, you really got to humble up. And I lived this life, like, all right, we're going to get this money. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to get it done. I didn't care about nobody. Okay? Then I found out that my daughter was on the way. It's like the world completely opened up, Sal, it's not about you no more. Okay? You had your fun. It's her turn now. So then you have the 9 months of when the baby's coming. And you're just thinking, you're trying to set up these things to get, you want your daughter to be set. You want your kid to be set. You don't want to stress out when that baby comes. And everything that I thought of in those 9 months went in the garbage as soon as the baby came out. Because whatever you think about having a baby, you have no idea until that baby gets there. And then your mentality changes completely where, I want to be a father figure. I want to be someone my daughter's going to look up to. So whatever I do moving forward, I got to do with integrity. I got to do with honesty. And I have to make sure that I'm setting a role model for my daughter as she's getting older. So,
Amen.
Absolutely.
Hold on to those words. Amen. Hold on to those words. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry.
No, and I think that, so we get stuck in these thoughts where, we think that we're going this one path, but it'll change, in the blink of an eye without you even realizing. It's not something that you mentally change. It's an action or an occurrence in your life that will make that change for you. And you just either got to hop on the boat or, you're going to keep going down that same road that you were already taking. So yeah, I know I dwelled a little bit on that, but I think it's important to say that.
That's great. That's wonderful that you say that. Yes, and I think we both appreciate that, right, Doris?
Yeah, no, I think I went a few years ago through the same process where my son was born and I was younger, and I really started to question myself exactly what you say. Am I the role model that my son can follow? Am I, can I honestly say I am a good person, right? And at that point, my purpose changed completely, right? That was a very dramatic change in my life. And and we have actually multiple purposes in life, right? And that's when I say, just imagine like a pyramid, right,
Mm.
where you have a whole bunch of objectives in the bottom, then you have goals in the middle, and then you have your purpose on the top.
And
Yeah.
again, like your purpose might not be your purpose. You know, it might be the purpose that you have set to. Like for me, my purpose is my daughter's purpose. You know, like for her well being when she gets older, and she can have that peace of mind that my father did everything he possibly could have. You know,
So,
that's
so your
where
per-
that's where it comes in. Like I think it's very selfless our purpose to an extent. Depending obviously where we are in life and where we end up, I think we start really more to care about, like you, Gary, the impact you have on others. You have a very selfless purpose. You want to help people. Bottom line, you want to leave your mark here. And that's where I think the bigger picture starts to form as you get older and you start to experience these things. I'm sure, Gary, that wasn't your purpose when you were in your 20s. I'm sure you were thinking about other stuff,
no,
and
yes. Go ahead.
and
Yeah.
I think you kind of build into that, in my opinion. But like I said, I could be wrong. Um,
Yes.
but that's why we have three minds, and as you can see, between a doctor, a 40 plus year entrepreneur, and a younger entrepreneur, we all pretty much have the same thought on it. Um, you know, is there anything you wanted to add in?
No, I think for you, I think that's wonderful, and yes, it is your purpose to create a family of integrity, and you need to have integrity to lead that family. And you know what? The starting point is to recognize, to truly be open to uh, criticism, or uh, to correction, to be open to it, and really be able to go in and you know make that shift in our emotions. But really, not just mentally say it, but really go down and make that shift. And that's not done overnight. It's done over time by we're conscious. We want to, for the reasons that you described, my family, my daughter, my parents, to just be a more honorable and upright person, and we work towards that. And yes, I've was self-centered. We are self-centered beings. We are born self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's the human condition. It's about me. It's about what we want, and usually I believe our higher power gives us the challenges in front of us that causes the pains that we go through, so we can uh, overcome those obstacles to learn and to grow straight and honest and forward. And it's called learning the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get older, then we start to learn. There's less matter in the way we start to learn things through intelligence. We anticipate. We know from experience. So we know that this is what I need to. If I want to stay healthy, I eat right. I exercise. I go to bed early. I do. You don't have to learn by some people wait and they never exercise. They get a heart attack. Now they've learned the hard way that I have to eat properly and I have to sleep on time and I have to, not drink and so on and so forth. That's the hard way. But as we grow and mature and learn, we can also avoid these obstacles, but and do it the easier way, the more intelligent way. But you know what? We're all given these obstacles to be more, uh, to be better human beings towards each other, and that higher power, which I think for me in particular is very important, uh, my
It,
beliefs. So go ahead, Doris.
Gary, and I think this is a very good point to introduce a technical concept that is called a flexible mindset. So there are two types of mindset. There is the static mindset set where you don't want to accept change, you don't like change, you fear change, whether the change is within yourself or is external. Or we have also the opposite, right? Where you have the flexible mindset, where you can accept your mistakes. And we go back to what we talked about in the last episode. It is okay to make mistakes and learn from them. It is not okay to make the same mistake multiple times because then it means you are learning nothing, right? So, in a flexible mindset, you allow change to happen instead of fighting against it, right? You start moving with the flow instead of swimming against the current. And I think that this is a really important concept where you actually begin to develop the acceptance of changes. And that actually really ties into purpose because when you see that change as part of your learning towards fulfilling your purpose and your vision in life, then you start moving ahead, you move forward, you move faster, you move easier towards the direction that you want to go.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we
yeah.
hit this topic right on the head, guys.
And I'll just wrap this up here also, Sal.
Go ahead, go ahead.
And I think for myself also, I think it's important. All these things that we're talking about, the psychology, human nature, life, became the underlining of my success in the uh, avenues of business that I went into, and the right decisions, making right, uh, discerning situations. My judgment call on things came from my understanding of who I was, uh, my feet on the ground, and being aware, and then of people, of truth. I think it's very important. Truth. If we some people they live the lie. They live the lie, and they continue to foster the lie, and it only wreaks havoc on your life. So it's the truth, the light that allows you to make proper decisions. So it's not only in life, because life is part of what our career is also, but I think everything we do is, we're human beings, so there's human nature involved in everything we do. So I just wanted to add that I found that to be grateful for the things I've learned about myself and the world that have helped me in making decisions moving forward in other areas, monetary areas.
Yeah, beautifully said. I mean, guys, this series is really, we're getting some really good answers out of this series. I'm very happy with the way this is going. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in to Three Minds, One Vision. This is episode 3. We'll be moving on. We have about 30 episodes projected in this series. If you guys have any questions, join the Discord group down below or shoot us an email at lidailyroast@gmail.com. I'm your host, Sal Liotta.
I'm your host, Gary Lombardi.
I'm your host, Doris Vidal Dorsch.
And we hope that you have a great night and see you guys in the next one.
Terrific. Thanks, Sal. Thanks, Doris.
Thank you for listening.